Good afternoon, guys. Belfast Blues and Boxing. We're gonna play some music. I had to look at the clock there to find out whether it was morning or afternoon. Let's see. What I watched last night, Nuno Betancourt, Late Night Hang with Rick Beato. Was really, really good. Nuno Betancourt he's insane, like. He's a mad guy. The knowledge that he has is like, it's good to hear, you know what I mean? He's such an operator. Yeah. He's a European man as well, you know, he's all the hands are going on the face and reminds me of like Leonard Bernstein. But yeah, he's just basically gonna play some guitar today, maybe whip up a backing track and see what comes out and see if we can find something interesting to talk about. And we'll not go on all day long. Got a big blister on my thumb after. Another thing I watched, Jordan Officer, I think he called the guy, has a channel, really good guitar player. He had a fellow interviewing him, Steve Hill, I think he called the guy, who played like very much like Clarence Gatemouth Brown, Albert Collins type of thing, where he would like hit the string with his thumb and his fingers snapping it. He really had that style down, you know. So I was doing that flat out. I ruined myself. Like, because I've been playing like this, you know, very clean and stuff. And it was like, all like that, you know. Whacking it like a lot of intensity. I think he was playing a Telecaster, like the Iceman. So yeah, I'm playing with a pick today. I noticed that guy Jordan, Officer, this is a strange surname. He plays with that sound. You know, very quiet, not a load of dirt on it, you know, no reverb. Oh, yeah, very good player. There's a lot of interesting chordal things, you know. Strange jazzy things he does with the chords, with the real old school sound. And he was talking about Muddy Waters too. They were doing some slide playing. And funny enough, he was into Muddy Waters. That was his sort of biggest influence as a slide player, the guy Jordan. And but he was playing also all of the little Muddy Waters. How the backing on the Muddy Waters tracks was basically like jazz backing, so maybe a little bit more rough, but it's essentially the same thing. Those voicings and the approach that those guys played with, you know. Before it got to say like the Hard Again album with Johnny Winter came on board, and it was like, you know, it got to be more of that with, you know, real heavy guitar sound and stuff. Well, let's see. really have anything to say. I really should have planned something before deciding to make a video. But yes. That almighty yeah, still gotta learn that. Something along those lines. Alright, I'll tell you what we'll do. Alright. Let's play a couple of Hendrix tunes. The Hendrix Chordal style, right? So we'll start with the sort of the one that most people associate with that style of playing. You know, with the Hendrix. All of that type of stuff, yeah. What's that? So the one everybody really goes for is. So yeah, it's not exactly how it's played. Yeah, we all know how it goes. What other ones are there? Play a couple quickly and then we can look at different moves you can do in different chords and stuff. Obviously, most of us are familiar with this stuff. We know what it is. We know how to do it. We've worked it into our own styles and we can approximate it. Yeah, we're not Jimi Hendrix. you know, but we can do it in our own little way. And if we're on a chord, we get a chord sequence, it's 4 chords, we know where we are. We can jump on that chord and do little diddly 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 little bits and pieces. So another one would be. Obviously, I'm playing this pretty loose. I saw castles made of sand, walls in the sea. Eventually, I remember when I first heard that song. I used to when I first moved to Belfast, you know, moving to the big city. Belfast isn't a big city, but you know, there's somebody coming from a small town in you know, rural Northern Ireland. It's what they call it the big smoke. You know, they come up to the big smoke, and you know, I'd really come to chase music, to play music. Sort of went as far as what I could in my hometown. And in a way, I was late to the game, whereas a lot of the people that I knew had been playing in bands when they were 13, 14, 15, and there was a circle, and guys were quite accomplished players, 16 and stuff. I was only really, I had been playing guitar when I was 13 or 14, but I was picking it up and setting it down, and then when I was about 17, it started to click. I started to practice. I realised what muscle memory was, and I realised, shit, I'm getting this technical stuff down. I've got some kind of musical talent as well, so when I began to sort of get confidence in that, then it was like, oh right, okay, yeah, I have to go and do this now. This is what I do, you know. This is what I'm built for. So yeah, I mean, I used to stick on, you know, 2 or 3 different albums every day. One of them was Rory Gallagher, live in Ireland, 1974, or it was live somewhere. I think it was live in Ireland. The guy comes on at the start. Ladies and gentlemen, Rory Gallagher. Woo! And all you hear is the. I don't know how he plays it. All of that stuff, you know what I mean? There you go. So that was one of them, right? What's the name of that song? Pony Blues or something? I forget. Album Blues? I don't know. God knows. God knows. It's a good song. It's the first track off the Tattoo Lady album, yeah. So there was that, and I had Jimi Hendrix, Axis Bold as Love. And like, fucking hell, man. I mean, what does it come in with? What does it start with? It's like, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is something, diddly, 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 diddly. Do you believe in UFOs and space people? Jimi Hendrix sometimes is like, well, as you know, you can't believe everything you see and hear. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must be on my way. You know, so that album for me was killer. Like, I love the first Hendrix album. I really like Electric Ladyland, but for me, that second album, Axis Bold's Love, in my opinion, is like It's the one, you know. It's just such a well crafted album. It's the sound, the production, and everything on it is so beautiful. But so yeah, on that album, you had Little Wing, you had that one, right? And then you had Axis Bold as Love. So you had that one, you know, that had it, that little chordal. It's like piano style. I heard it described as piano style before, which it kind of is, because piano style, they do a lot of that stuff, don't they? You know, one note held down, the other note moves off it, you know, alterations or whatever you call those things. And then the other one was, and this was the one that really just, when I heard it, I didn't know what to make of it, what was going on. I'd never heard it. Is this a guitar? Is it, what is this, you know? That was that. Like, I could not conceptualize in my mind, like, what is going on there. It just sounded like some strange little cowboy type of thing going on. It was, and funny, a guy that I lived with, it was a big house, you know, a big flat share. There was 6 of us in the house, and one of the guys had got a book, a Hendrix tab of, I think it was, it might have been that album. It might have been like every Hendrix sort of album, you know, track or whatever, every recorded studio track. And it had the tabs spelt out with all this extra information about certain chords being inferred and stuff like that that I didn't really have a notion about then. But the notes were there. But even that, between the notes and listening to the record, you still couldn't make it work. I remember even before then, years before then, when I was still in the small town, I was trying to learn The Wind Cries Mary by Hendrix, right? So I was going like this, right? So I figured those little boys out and I go, oh, okay, something going on here. And this bit. Alright. All this stuff. Now, I was playing that like that. And I could see in the chord, it was one of those power tabs, if anybody remembers power tab, it was like a little program, like a fucking MIDI program or something. But it showed a hit from 0, hammer-ons and pull-offs 0 to 2. And I was going to myself, how do you do that? Oh, wait, do I play the chord and then go lift it off? And then one time, you know, a friend was around having a wee smoke or whatever, and he goes to me, man, you know Hendrix was flat out with the thumb? And I was like, what? What I got there? It was like, no man, fucking look, Hendrix played with his thumb over like that. Now this guy was a metal guy. You know, he was into like Lamb of God and Necrophagist and Nevermore and stuff like that. You know, he liked his good guitar players. He's a big fan of Extreme. The two of us really liked Extreme. So so he got me in on that, and then suddenly I realised, oh. After all the jacks are in their boxes, and all the clowns have all gone to their bed, you can hear happiness staggering. Now, listen to what's going on tonally there. Do you hear the way I attack those second 2 chords of the 3 chords? There's a little break up on it. That's the Hendrix Stratty sound, you know. You don't just dial that in and go. You know, having the sound on your amp is a big part of it, and having the right guitar and stuff. But it's really like, what I think about when you're trying to get a sound that somebody else has, you gotta get that in your head that, look, I'm trying to play, I'm trying to do a Jimmy Page thing, like so. stuff, you know. Hendrix had a lovely touch, like. And being a singer, you know, I was singing these songs and playing at the same time. And I'd started to get a good grip on that, you know. And when I was younger, I thought it was something some old drummers. I see them doing two or three different things at once. What's going on there? How come I can't do that? I'd bust, you know, for hours every day, and then I started to build up my coordination. And I could play reasonably complex things, you know, and sing at the same time. I can sing all day on a scale because I've got musical powers. And this Hendrix stuff, all of a sudden, then it's like, I saw castles made of sand in the sea. Eventually, there's so much going on. I think John Mayer, he came out and he did a lot of live versions of some of those songs, like. You know, he's coming from like he's got that funk and the blues stuff. He's got all that in there already. He had that light touch. That was one of my issues then when I was playing. I would have been going, you know, a heavy touch. It took me a while to develop that little jazzy sort of lightness. And I think the thing too, if you're going to be singing with it, don't get too precious about everything being exact and everything so clean. Just fucking get it basically down. If you're singing over the top of it, you know. And you know, of course you want to get it as good as you can, but whenever you do, you finish your singing bit, then you know it's all the more tighter and stuff. But if you're playing a riff and it's something, you know, a different rhythm or slightly more complex than what you're singing, or vice versa, then you know, as long as you've got the main bit down, you know, and you might want to go for an up-down rhythm to keep you right, even though you might only be picking here and there and then there and up there, you know what I mean? If you do that, that keeps that occupied and keeps your meter, keeps your rhythmic meter, you know. But Hendrix was a whole new thing because you were singing and you were having to try and do all this. You know, all those little flicks and stuff. But it's sort of like a rite of passage, you know. If you're a Hendrix guy, you have to learn that, and you have to learn how to sing it and do it. But yeah, so I suppose the other one's Bold as Love, which is the let's see if we can make this happen, right? We're gonna come back around on the verse. You know what I mean? There's something you gotta hit, that little lick. Yes, we're all bold as love. Just as the accent. There's a little bit there, isn't there? guessing a little bit there, doesn't he? Oh, we're gonna get it. Something like that. Yeah, and that's an issue I've been having in a while. You know, when my hands were stronger, I would hit that bit. I would be right under it. I would catch it with such strength in those two fingers, you know. But I can't quite catch a grip on it, and like I say, these are nines, you know. I can't catch a grip on it the same way that I used to. I kind of have to accept that, and if I do go for that, I kind of have to try and go slow, you know. And it means basically that I don't really bother too much with repeating licks in that area, you know. I'm trying to work more of them in because it's such a staple of like any guitar player's vocabulary. You need that, like all that stuff. You know, for rock definitely. Like I mean, I'm a blues player. Like I'm, you know, it's okay me sitting on a blues where I can go, you know, bop away one other time. I don't know if you call those eight notes or something. You know what I mean? And then when something ballsy happens, you gotta be able to go like, you know what I mean? I'm a little lost there, so maybe with some practice I can get that. But you know, when I got my guitar injury, I sort of, well, it was horrible and it was not nice that it happened at the time that it did in my life. You know, it was like, shit, man. I'm a young guy and I'm on the verge of really, really just. I was just having a great life playing music and stuff, and it just went away, and it was a very hard thing to deal with. But you know, the more I've come along, I've realised that that's an issue that we all have. We all have some issues with our hands as we go along. Everybody, you know, Petrucci, Satriani, fucking, you know what I mean. So many guys. You know, and you don't have to be a hardcore blues digger to get that. You know, guys that play shreddy stuff and it's maybe quite fast. You know, if you're playing that amount of time, but it's like I was so like corrupt with fucking grief, you know. And different guys did show me. Like I remember a guy showed me all these little stints in his hand. It was like, you know, I was telling him of all my woes, and he just sort of turned around and goes, you know, I didn't get it. I didn't pick up on it, you know. But yeah, we all get that. It's just the same as in life, you know. You get to a certain age and one of your legs starts getting bad, you know. Your back will go from time to time. We're just getting older, you know, and so you have to adapt how you play. You have to change up a little bit, whether it's lighter strings, whether it's certain moves that you don't go for so much. So you know, oh, I'm in trouble there. If I go there, that's gonna mess me up. So, yeah. So there you go. I mean, we'll continue in the vein of Hendrix. We'll do one thing first, right? So, I mean, if we take those chords to anger, he smiles, the tyrant, shiny metallic purple armor, green jealousy can be reached behind, fiery green flash plays at the grassy glen. My yellow in this case is not so mellow. In fact, I'm trying to say it's playing like me. All these emotions of mine hold me from giving my life to a really bold little yeah, tune. Fucking tune. So look, we're on A there. So what do we got? We got that one. You know, John Frusciante obviously is a great disciple of Hendrix and one of the guys, him and John Mayer. You know, depending on what you like, you know, John Mayer's a bit more fancy and fleet-fingered, you know, and he does what he does, you know, he plays pop music and stuff, amazing musician, you know, plays blues, plays everything, done the Grateful Dead stuff. You gotta respect him, like, whether you think you dislike him as a person from afar, you know, you gotta respect that guy, in my opinion. I think so, you know, I think that's fair. And then Frusciante's more of like just a creative fucking force, you know what I mean? And like saying like under the bridge, you know what I mean? It's like what do they do? Something like that. He got all those moves. He's got all those moves. So like we'll go back to Axis Boulders Love. I don't know where I was going with that, but you know you got to regard Frusciante as well, like because I think he's a little more dirty than a little more rough around the edges than John Mayer. But then John Mayer can't claim he hasn't done what Frusciante's done. You know what I mean? Like so. I don't know. This is art, isn't it? This is music. We're not supposed to rate anybody and say who the best is. It's like, you know, you have to rate people, don't you? Like you have to rate them. You just have to. Right. So like on an A chord, we can do that one. We know what that move is. It's a double stop right in the fifth. Take that fifth up to a sixth. Yeah, 2 frets. Snap it, play it soft, you can do it like that. Then you've got this, 3rd and 5th, with a wee sus4 thing. Do like a wee triplet on the 4, you know, hammer on pull off. Land on the right if you want. You can bring it down like here, and get the 2nd or the 9th in there, so it's the 2nd and the 5th, right? And then a hammer on pull off on the 3rd. Or, which is a bit awkward because you have to change position. But again, like I say, rite of passage, you learn to do that, then it forces you to extend your fucking cognitive facilities, you know. What else is there? You can go like things like that. Those little boys. Now, obviously, Hendrix didn't invent these moves, you know what I mean? There's people playing stuff like this way before him. But he sort of coalesced it all into one style where he would play it off the thumb. And I think the fact that his musicality was of such a out of this world level as well, that he could do beautiful things. And that's kind of why we're always behind him in a sense when we play that stuff. So it's really better to go the Frusciante method in a way to just do your own thing with it. Because then you're not in competition with Hendrix, which, you know what I mean, is a competition we will all lose. So let's try and be winners, you know. So all that stuff, right? You get this one, that one there, I like that. Or I used to go off that quite a bit. So you've got, what's that there? Fucking 5 and 1 again. And that's a 2 and a 5. Major 3rd and a 6. He doesn't do that one so much, but you'll hear it in some places. It's a nice one to throw in, especially when you get the bassy strings in there and you get that extra bassy thing going on. If it was a chord, then let's take this D chord and it's in that position. Then you can do that. That's a D chord. If we play that B chord, which is minor 3rd, just basically change the bass note, you know what I mean? And we've got the same moves in the same position. So I don't know if any of you are familiar with the Woodstock live version, the live album, and there's a song Message to Live. Something like that in the solo, it's actually off the hook, whatever it is that he does, man. Got a message to love. dangerous of the mind, baby. Execute today. Being free, you ain't supposed to play. No man. Yeah, a lot of that stuff going on. He's got some nice effects on too, that like uni vibe phaser sort of thing, and a nice bit of delay, and of course all the distortion and stuff. What else does Hendrix do, right? So he's quite fond of that, right? Well, there's an F minor chord, flat 7, sharp 9. You know, it's basically the same as that. But you hear that chord in jazz a lot. Implemented right and set up right with the other voices adjusted accordingly, you can make that really effective. The sound of those particular intervals will really, it'll hit you, you know. But he does that all the time, that move there. So it's quite a stretch down there. You've got the thumb up on the 2nd fret there, the low E, F sharp, and then down there you've got that same 5 and 1 of the A chord. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen. Something like that. So again, like he threw it in there, and it was all the more nicer because it was just like he wasn't putting it on every chord like I started to do. It's overkill, isn't it? You know. And yeah, that sort of method of. Let's say the song, I don't know, Live at Monterey, he does Killing Floor. Yeah, he's fond of that stuff. Most people, you know what I mean, studied Hendrix quite a bit, but he was a big guru for me because, like for me it was like Dave Gilmour, Hendrix, Jimmy Page to an extent, but I didn't really study his style in depth, and Peter Green. Peter Green was one of the big guys. And there were other guys that I spent as long a time with, but not just as much, like Eric Clapton and stuff like that, the Beano album particularly, which I listen to now and I appreciate even more. It's like, fuck. Because I went from Clapton and then I heard Peter Green and I goes, oh, this is better. So I preferred Peter Green. And but listening back now, I'm starting to go, wait a second, Clapton was doing a lot of stuff that Peter Green didn't really have a handle on, you know? It was just my ears were too young to appreciate it, maybe, or something like that. Or maybe it's just a matter of taste. Um, so, yeah, well, I'll do a couple more Hendrix things here. Let's make this a big Hendrix fest. So, no, is it? I'm playing that way out of key. I stand up next to the mountain, jump down and in the When I stand up next to the mountain. Always sounds to me like I should go to the 4-chord there. Jumping down with the edge of my heart. I think it's one of those infernos. Pick up all the pieces and make an island. I might even raise a little sound. Cause I'm a pretty child. Like I say, my fast rock licks wouldn't just be the best. Yeah. Ah well, I have to let those days go. Alright. Is there anything else to be learned from Jimi Hendrix? That might be Hendrix finished with. Okay. Alright, you know what we'll do, right, as a quick comparison, we'll play through some Led Zeppelin riffs. The few that I can think of, and we'll see what kind of a mix-up's going on with Jimmy Page and Hendrix, who were the two guys of their day, and still remain to be the two guys of our day. Like they're the greats. Like they are the greats, man. Of course, there are many others. Like we gotta throw Brian May up on, Yeah, again, like. It's the thing about age too, isn't it? There's certain players you overlook when you're younger, and then you get a bit older. It's like, oh right, this is the guy. This other person here, he was the actual real guy. Yeah, like, we all love Pagey, don't we? So what did Pagey do? All right. Not sure what happens there. Gotta tell you, baby, what you trying to do. Try to love you, baby, with some other man too. Yeah, that's an interesting riff. There's that. What's the one I like now? Let me think. There you are. And there's got to be one last for the go. We got to pay a little tribute to Nino, don't we? Don't know if I could do a solo. That's way too fast, man. I did spend a long time learning this as a kid, but I never got it up to speed. Okay. It's too hard, man. What's this next bit? Something like that. Something like that. Yeah, and then a big sweep. There's a big sweep, didn't there? Yeah. Yeah, you know, I was working off one of those power tabs, you know. And that was one of the first songs that I tried to learn when I was started to get good and get the muscle memory and the alternate picking down. So I was playing it slow, but the patterns that I had in this power tab was something like, you there was all of this alternate picking, one note to a string stuff. I was going like, it was all of that. I was wondering why I couldn't get it up to speed. You know what? It still sounded really good, even if I was playing it at like 130 beats per minute. And yeah, love that song. What other stuff did Extreme do? Let me think now. Oh, right. Where's that one go? Big bit there. I remember this was like, yeah, man. I'm not much of a shredder, like, as you can tell. I'm much happier in the Hendrix song. I was never a good shredder. What else was there then? It was like, there's gotta be a couple more riffs here, man. He's got one or two more riffs. I gotta get them. What's the one? Shout out, you'll never see this, but shout out to Gary Sharon too. What a fucking singer. What a lyricist. The Gilmour twins. Brilliant, man. Absolutely brilliant. What's that other one where he does the fucking, what is it? All of these I haven't played in so long, since I was a little younger than I am now. I'll tell you what one I like, I won't be able to play it for you. Warheads, I like it a lot actually. Warheads, there you are, like 5 minutes up to an hour, guys. We'll try and round this off to an hour. So like I gotta play some guitar stuff. We talked about. Alright, so what we'll do here. So, talking about Dave Gilmour, and the first solo of his that I learned, and this was like the first solo I ever learned by ear, was you know what I'm saying? Taking away the moments that make up it all day. Fit to erase the eyes in an old way. Been around on a piece of ground in a long time. Waiting for someone or something to show you the way. Stuff. So we'll get to you're young and life is long, there's time to kill today, and then one day you find 10 years you've got behind you. No one told you when to run, you missed the starting gun. as well. He also had a nice bit of delay on Dave Gilmour. Well, you're out to catch up with the sun, but it's sinking. Racing around, come up behind you again. The sun is the same in a relative way, but you're older. Shorter of breath, closer to death. There's almost like a reggae thing going on there with that rhythm. In fact, that's the first time I've ever played it the way it's supposed to be played, gently. Like, if you listen throughout Dark Side of the Moon, there's quite a bit of that light picking stuff. Like I say, I had that issue when I was younger. I played everything. Chop it, chop it, chop it, chop it. It's only since I've been forced, when my hands got bad, to play lightly, that I realised, oh wait, that's like the way to go. Because you want to have dynamic range too, don't you? You want to have like, alright, well I hit that one soft, and then I know what I hit it next time it's going to be. I'm going to slam it, you know. But yeah, factoid, fun fact, right? Gilmour was a massive Hendrix fan, and apparently back in the day, like in the early 60s and whatever, he could do like an amazing impression of Hendrix. And I think you can hear that all through Dave Gilmour's playing. He said in an interview himself, look, he started to have success when he started doing his own thing. You can hear it, you know, the likes of that band there, you know. Just that extra wee touch at the end of that bend, you know. It's just slight little hints. You can just hear, yeah, he's got that extra bit of dirt. There's like a blue. It's such a nice blend with Gilmour as a player, because he's got that extra. He's got a bluesiness. You know, he's got a cool rock thing. He's got the phrasing like nobody else. You know, his melodicism and stuff is just off the hook. It's just Dave Gilmour. Like, and what more can you say? You know, his tone. He's so tasteful, but for somebody that has all that end of things down, he also has a raw and a raunchiness, you know, even like Money. Where did Money go? Need me a football team. He's got an extra fret there. So what do we cover? Jimi Hendrix, chordal style. Um, some of the voicings that he would like to use, the Hendrix chord, which is a flat 7 sharp 9 chord, which is good to know. It's good to know the names of these things, isn't it? It's sometimes, you know. Yeah, some Nuno Betancourt, some extreme Gary Chernow, and a little bit of Jimmy Page, just a little bit of Jimmy Page, and a good bit of Dave Gilmour, who we can probably go more into depth with another time because he's such a player. It deserves a deep dive, doesn't it? You know. So look, that's all the crack. I hope everybody has a nice wee Tuesday afternoon. Get the amp rigged up and get blasting. You know. What else for it?